Alright, so now the intro should be starting for the talk show. Finally.
Boy, 32 gigs of DDR4 RAM is expensive.
30 gigs of any RAM is expensive. Like 100 to 200 bucks.
300.
No, that's a bit too much. Alright,
Yeah,
so
I'll go with
welcome,
16.
ladies and gentlemen, to Table Talk Thursday. I'm your host, Talk_1. Kenneth is joining me live from the shitty city studio, also known as his house. Without video
Yes.
this time, because, well, things happened in real life and he's also lazy. Who would have thought?
Yes. Unfortunately, my storage sheds were broken into and things were stolen. So.
The burglarizing. Oops. I might have fucked up.
He fucked up, ladies and gentlemen.
I was trying to fucking post somewhere, and instead of posting in the Cast or Die stream promo, I fucked up and joined the channel. But anyway, everything's good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Alright, fuck my camera refresh. Okay, it's pretty weird. Alright, so, yeah. You ready? You gonna start us off with, oh my god, all the Trump news.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, there is a lot of Trump news this week. He's done a lot of shit.
Alright, so what about the part where I was talking about that he was visiting Dallas this weekend, apparently? Also, there was apparently at the same time an NRA convention.
Was he visiting the NRA convention?
I don't know.
We'll check on that later in the show. Anyway, so I'll start us off.
I think he was just campaigning.
Well, probably. So this is a little combo story here. So it talks about how Trump is planning on meeting Kim Jong-un in Singapore for an international summit peace on June the 12th. At the same time that this story was reported, it comes on the heels of the release of 3 American prisoners who have been detained for more than a year in North Korea. The 3 men, Kim Dong-chul, Kim Hak-song, and Kim Sang-duk, also known as Tony Kim, met with President Trump early Thursday morning after landing at Joint Base Andrews, Maryland. So this is fantastic news. These 3 Americans have been held in North Korea for between, I believe, like 4 to 2 years.
A while.
Yes, quite a while. Unfortunately, one of them was sentenced to 10 years of hard labor as they were accused of stealing state secrets and being a North Korean spy. The other 2 worked at a Christian university in Pyongyang and apparently were accused of treason or something. Anyway, so U.S. officials have made it clear to their North Korean counterparts that the Americans' release was paramount to this discussion, which makes sense. I mean, you can't exactly, plan to deal with another country when they're imprisoning your citizens.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's something they've done for a while. It's, like the boy we got back, a couple years, last year, the year before.
Wimble?
Yeah. Yeah. Kid who was just
Who was killed by the North Korean regime.
Basically.
It was murder.
Live edits. I mean, it didn't actually die until the ice pick lobotomy took effect, basically. Essentially what happened.
Yeah, they did some fucked up shit. Poor kid.
I guess they did, but I have no idea.
Waterboarding and drownings and torture and other things. It's not good. Anyways, when asked by ABC's Jonathan Karl why he thought Kim Jong-un decided to free the prisoners now, Trump replied, I think he did it because I really think... I think he did it because... I don't know, I don't really have a good Trump voice. I really think he wants to do something and bring that country into the real world. I really believe that, John. Since Trump said, I think we're going to have success. I think this will be a big success. Bigly. This is going to be bigly. God, even his I mean, his direct quotes make him just sound so fucking all over the place. And also, that's a bullshit quote, but I guess this is one time Trump can't be super idiotic and say what he actually thinks.
Are you sure? You sure he's not actually just gonna do that?
I mean, he's held off it so far.
I don't know. Well, it's like all of the Trump supporters are like, Trump's doing better than any president in the past. He's fixing the Koreas and all this shit. And I'm just like, my fucking eyes just start to twitch, and I'm like, the stupidity is climbing. It's basically like watching the fucking. It's literally okay. So the Trump regime is literally the Sith from fucking the Order 66. Just that's basically what's happening. Then that the fucking the stormtroopers or what is it, the Imperial or whatever the fuck the Republic commandos that turns into the Imperial stormtroopers. Those are the American people, and like Palpatine is Trump right now. It's fucking the accuracy, it hurts. Do it! Kill the younglings!
Trump, surrounded by journalists and cameras earlier today, also teased the highly anticipated meeting. We have a meeting scheduled in a very short period of time. We have the location set, he said. We'll see if we can do anything that people do not
do something.
we will. We'll see if we can do something that people did not think was going to happen for many, many years. Reading Trump quotes just takes a lot out of me.
It's funny.
He added, "My proudest achievement will be this is part of it, but will be when we denuclearize the entire peninsula." God, he mangles English language.
He fucking because he'll like speak, and in the middle of making a point, he'll make a sub point, and he'll make another point. I'm like, but this is another thing. Exactly. He's like, but I'm like, he is the narcissist. Yeah, exactly. He is the narcissism of fucking like everything. That I vote
lose in a challenge to him.
I vote that next to narcissist in the dictionary we put his fucking picture, man. Like for real, that man.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's funny. Now I'm saying man and shit. Then I'm looking at my hair and the way I look in the webcam. I look like fucking Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. And so like, I asked my coworkers, that since I'm super chill, I was like, do you think I fucking like smoke pot or do any drugs or anything like that? What do you think I'd do if I did? And then they're like, dude, I definitely think you smoke weed. You're super chill. I was like, thanks. And what's funny is when I went to go drive people for lunch, he's like, yo, do we gotta air out your car, for the weed? And I'm like, dude, I don't smoke. I was like, I had to pass a drug test to get this job. Da-da-da-da-da. No, it's funny. Oh, my fucking, those stupid air fresheners that have been in my car forever, the like plastic bead ones. So I had my shades up the other day, and it got incredibly hot. So it's been weird. It's cool, and then it's hot, and today it was super cool, but yesterday it was ultra hot. It's the sun, but like the air is nice and cool, so there's actually a breeze and it's not warm air. It's so good. But yeah, no, the fucking sun just like melted the cactus one. The cactus one just fucking turned into like it just started falling down and got stuck to the crucifix that's in my car and everything. And I was like, wow. Fucking melted all my shit together. Anyway, Iran nuclear deal. Trump pulls U.S. out in break with Europe allies.
Yeah, this is a huge thing because he's
kind of
upsetting international.
He's fixing one fucking international issue to like open a can of worms on another one. This man has.
He's not fixing anything. That's the problem.
Oh, he's fixing the Korea stuff. Basically.
Yeah, the Koreas, but I mean, Kim Jong-un's gonna see this, and he's like, America's an oath breaker. If they can't keep their international agreements made under one president, how does he, he'll be like, how do I know the next president won't just come in and be like, fuck you, we're nixing this deal that we make.
I don't think anybody would really nix it, unless the Koreans can, unless, I'm talking about the Koreans.
Again, this is Trump. He'll probably renege on this deal somehow.
I mean, he might. That would be very depressing. But no, he'll do it. He'll do it in his lame duck period, and then blame the new person coming in. I hope he doesn't get voted again. I really hope he doesn't.
Yeah.
Honestly, he needs to not be president. To be fair, a lot of fucking so that all the Hollywood stars that want to now be president, that needs to stop. Like, I'm okay with. I'm still semi okay with fucking the governor. I mean, was he? I feel like he was halfway decent at governing, California. I don't know. California's in a weird spot, and their economy is ultra crashing though at this point. But I'm not sure if that's his fault. Supposedly, I have no idea. Everyone says. I don't know. I haven't actually looked at it. Then again, I'm hearing stats come from like ultra conservative people that like believe they should fucking just chop themselves, secede from the union or whatever because they're trying to and all that other shit. Anyway, that's irrelevant. U.S. President Donald Trump says he will withdraw from the U.S. from the Obama-era nuclear agreement with Iran, calling it decaying and rotten. Dude, it was only done like a couple of years ago. He said the deal was an embarrassment to him as a citizen. What?
Yeah, he's really laying it on thick there.
I guess. Going against advice from European allies, he said he would reimpose economic sanctions that were waived when the deal was signed in 2015. In response, Iran said it was preparing to restart uranium enrichment, key for making both nuclear energy and weapons.
Yeah, that's a bad thing. I mean, if Trump just kept his fucking mouth shut, Iran. See, the entire point of this plan
was to stop their nuclear enrichment program.
The thing is, what the plan did, and I'll explain, was that it limited the amount of refineries they could have. The refinery like plants or sections from like 5,000 they had down to 3,000. And also they got rid of all their highly enriched uranium. Now, and then they were also, as a part of the deal, told that they were only allowed to enrich uranium up to 3%. Now, for most people who don't know, uranium has to be enriched up to 97% to be usable in a bomb. And the type of refineries they were limited to were like Gen 1 refineries when they had Gen 3 refineries. So it would have taken them much longer to refine enough material to do effective. Yeah. Essentially, the entire point of this deal was to limit Iran's ability to produce uranium instead of, because Iran at the time was only months away from being able to produce uranium at such a high level. Under this plan, this would have pushed them back 10 years, or at least a couple years in their ability to produce enriched uranium. Yeah.
Which we were worried about Iran making weapons of mass destruction, whatever, all that shit. But I mean, at some point it might just be that, isn't that Iran just allies with fucking Russia and gives them, nuke warheads or whatever?
I don't know if they can legally under international law.
Listen, I understand legally they can't, but I'm sorry, not sorry. But every other country in the world does many things that are illegal to the UN, to the world, to every single other council, and it doesn't really matter for the most part.
But I mean, nuclear weapons are one of those special things because...
Yeah, well, if it's benefiting somebody, one of the biggest powers in the world...
I don't think we would sell nuclear weapons to Saudi Arabia.
I mean, we sold a ton of other weapons to Saudi Arabia.
We sold a ton of other weapons, yes, but we've never sold them nuclear weapons.
I didn't say we were going to sell nuclear weapons. But it doesn't mean Iran can't produce warheads for Russia, which is their ally, or one of their friends.
Maybe.
I'm just looking at the realistic possibility. Because I'm not sure Iran's military or anything has the ability to really launch mini nukes of their own.
Been trying.
I know, but it's like North Korea. It's kind of a joke. However, they've, proven their ability to produce them, which is a big deal. And technically they could just export highly enriched uranium, which would be less of a, less of a thing. They could do it under the guise of like nuclear fuel or something like that. Nuclear power fuel. But it would probably be much higher enriched than it has to be for that. I feel like the nuclear fuel only has to be enriched for like 50 or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't really know. Enrichment rate or anything. You didn't see this. But, yeah. Anyway. Iran's President Hassan Rouhani. I don't know. I know it's Hassan. I'm gonna go Rouhani.
Yeah,
The
Rouhani.
H is no, I'm not gonna go Rouhani. It's probably Rouhani. H is silent.
No, I don't think it is in this case.
Fucking, it's like going to work. Anyway,
It's Rouhani.
Anyway, the U.S. has announced that it doesn't respect its commitments. Yeah, well, I mean, we have Trump. What does Trump know about commitment? He even fucking had an affair with his wife. Heyo. Anyway, I have ordered
actually,
what?
For the record, you were asking about nuclear plants.
Uh-huh.
So apparently, it requires uranium enriched to 3 to 5%, which is exactly what their enrichment levels are set to.
Literally nothing. That's what I was gonna say. I thought so. I thought like the uranium for nuke plants doesn't have to be enriched, really.
Extremely low.
Because it just works. Most nuke plants just work based off the half-life of the fuel cell itself. It doesn't even really, I think, have to be enriched very much or anything like other than whatever, because it already emits, radiation, and that already affects the water or whatever. It already produces heat just by existing.
Yeah.
Anyway, the breakdown process is what makes it. Yeah. Woo, nuclear science. I did that for a while. Anyway, I have ordered the Atomic Energy Organization of Iran to be ready for action if needed, so that if necessary, we can resume our enrichment on an industrial level without any limitations. He said he would wait a few weeks to speak to allies and other signatories to the nuclear deal first. If we achieve the deal's goals in cooperation with other members of the deal, it will remain in place, he said. So I'm guessing, who's the other people? What was their part of the deal?
So the other people include the UK, Russia, China, Germany, France, and one other nation whose name is escaping.
Yes.
But essentially, it's mostly Europe, China, and of course Russia.
It's all about sanctions on their shit, like trade sanctions and stuff.
It's lifting sanctions.
No, I know, but that was the problem, was that there's too many sanctions. So what they're saying, if America is just the only one with sanctions, whoop-de-fucking-do, it's not like we do much with Iran.
Very bad news, because part of the sanctions isn't just on Iran itself, it's for any companies that do business with Iran.
The only businesses that do anything with Iran would be oil, I think, right?
No, other big businesses. We'll cover that in the next story.
I was gonna say, what the fuck? Anyway, whatever. He said, with the stroke of his pen, President Trump has jeopardized the one agreement, good or bad, that seeks to constrain Iran's nuclear ambitions. He launched a scathing assault on the deal and its deficiencies, but he offered no alternative policy to put in its place, obviously.
Yeah, basically, like with healthcare, when he was going to repeal and replace it, he pretty much said the same thing about this. Repeal, replace, we need a better deal for American people.
Yeah, did that ever go through? Are we fucked?
The Iran or the healthcare?
Healthcare.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So we're fucked.
Like, it's not repealed, but he's trying to get rid of basically the only things that keep it going.
Yeah. He has put
the individual mandate.
U.S. diplomacy on a collision course with some of Washington's closest allies. And some fear that he may have brought a new catastrophic regional war in the Middle East that much closer. Well, to be fair, Iran and fucking who else is fighting right now already?
Well, it's Iran, Syria, and Israel.
Yeah, but isn't it Iran is fighting the Israelis now? Like, they just went straight through Syria to start fighting them? That's what we covered last week.
We'll cover that in the next.
We still covered that last week. But anyway.
Well, we're covering in that.
The so-called Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JCPOA, I don't know, saw Iran agree to limit the size of its stockpile of enriched uranium, which is used to make reactor fuel, but also nuclear weapons, for 15 years, and the number of centrifuges installed to enrich uranium for 10 years. Iran also agreed to modify a heavy water facility so it could not produce plutonium suitable for a bomb.
And the thing is, the IAEA, or the International Atomic Energy Association, they're the international governing body on nuclear power and weapons. They, under this deal, can go into any military base and nuclear plant, anything that has anything to do with nuclear energy or nuclear whatever. They can go there at any time. They just call Iran and be like, "We're gonna go to this place now," and Iran has to let them under this deal. So and the IAEA has put out in the past 3 years this deal's been going on, 10 reports that have consistently said that Iran is keeping with the provisions of the deal. The thing is, Trump talks about how this deal we American people gave them $10 billion or whatever out of our taxpayer money, blah blah. No, what he fails to state is that the money that Iran received was money that American banks had frozen under the sanctions, but it's Iranian money, so we just gave them back their money. But I mean, it's just such bullshit. This deal was a good deal. This deal that took negotiating for
This is the worst deal in U.S. history.
it allowed consistent inspection and was bringing commerce and freedom to Iran.
Hold on, you just said it was bringing freedom. Freedom!
Freedom.
I need an American flag. Cat, what are you doing?
When we get the Elgato Stream Deck, we'll just have a thing for that.
I want to have an animated American flag behind us.
Of course.
That way we can hilariously turn around and salute it while we shit talk Trump. We're like, America! We have to play the fucking America podcast song every time, too. It'll be perfect! It's a gift and the song. It'll work.
Yeah.
I can see it now. Hold on, I'm gonna go grab my trash can while you cover the next story.
Okay. Anyways, just a moment, folks. Okay. Back to it.
Valet trash is the best thing ever.
That is a nice thing. And remember, the valet trash people are actual police officers.
I don't know. They were the original crews. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yes. Anyways, so in a surprise to nobody, defense companies' stocks rise after the United States pulls out of the Iran deal.
Wait, what? Stocks are rising because of that? What?
Well, of course, because they smell war on the horizon.
War on the horizon.
No, that's just intel.
It didn't go up that quick today. So, dude, I've noticed since like my workplace has the stock like on the home page or whatever. That the stock at work has been rising. Might want to get into my work stock.
Nice.
Hashtag insider trading. Basically. That actually is a good question. Does that become insider trading whenever I'm like, well, that's not
insider trading's only like if you hear something from your financial department that or something that hey.
I'll never hear anything from my financial department. However, I will hear we didn't fuck up 20,000 servers today, so we're good. Or, man, 20,000 servers just went down. I should probably sell because it's gonna drop.
Yeah, but basically, like, if you heard anything like that, like, something was gonna stop production or TI or whatever was just gonna keel over, or there's a big merger going on, and you've got advanced knowledge of that, then yeah, that would be insider trading. Now, no, that's only insider trading if they can prove it.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Financial department's on the 3rd floor. I'm just a lowly 1st floor red badge with no information at all.
Yep, pretty much.
Nobody tells me nothing other than to do my job. And then everybody tries to tell me how to do my job.
Yep. So stocks of several prominent U.S. defense companies have risen significantly after the United States President Donald Trump announced the United States would withdraw from the Iran nuclear deal. Trump made the announcement Tuesday at 2 p.m. local time, and shortly after, stocks of the companies like Northrop Grumman and Raytheon and General Dynamics all shot up. One of the few exceptions was Boeing. Although the company does play a major part in the defense industry, it also had several $1 billion worth of deals with Iran. And those deals might not happen now that the United States has imposed sanctions on Iran again.
Yeah.
So basically what the U.S. sanctions impose that any company that does business with Iran has 90 days to cease all business with them or be sanctioned heavily.
Wow.
which
That's
means
fucked.
then yeah. So and apparently the sanctions are going to be more and harsher than ever before, which is going to decimate Iranian uh, trade because Iranian trade, once the sanctions were let up, shot up through the roof. Billions and billions of dollars have been flooding into the Iranian economy from like all places, like United States, Germany, China. Oh shit! Something happened. Just a sec. Somebody screamed.
Yeah, I heard that. Hold on. Somebody just screamed. Let's switch to the BRB channel. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Bryson Hurst, 2022. Oh, man. Who the fuck is that? Weird. Bryson, complete auto repair. Complete auto care.
Okay, I'm back. It was nothing.
Oh, was it nothing? Good, 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 good.
Yep. But yes, this is going to be devastating for the Iranian economy. Apparently, also Iran also produces about 2.5 million barrels of oil a day, which is about 3% of global demand.
So, yeah, Iran does do much oil, I thought.
Yeah, they do. I mean, that's probably why you're seeing oil prices increase because, well, Iran's no longer
They
going to
actually
want to.
went down. Gas prices went down again.
Actually, oil prices themselves have shot up about 2%.
Huh.
And are projected to continue to rise. So
It's a good thing I
those
stopped
costs
using
will.
my expensive gasoline, even though my
Yeah,
gas is still expensive as fuck.
it's like $3 down here.
What?
Yeah.
Like regulars $3 down there?
No. You're super special.
Oh no, my super fucking Supreme is like almost 20 up here because it's like
Oh, yeah.
60 cents more than the price of gasoline. Gas
Yeah, I
is
think
like
gasoline
two,
here, like super normal and leaded, is like 2.59.
it's still above 260 up here, so it's not that bad. But no, I stopped like as soon as I started paying over $3 per gallon for my stuff. I was like, no, I'm done. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like right now, since I'm gonna be traveling and just burning through gas. Ugh.
Yep.
Shit.
Not like me.
And
$25 and here to
that's
gas.
why I want you to come live up here, buddy. Just go to work, and I'll and we'll do things. It'll be fine. Everything will be fun. Everything will be good.
Yep. Anyways, the sanctions Trump has reimposed on Iran won't take effect for 6 months, but there's a chance Iran's oil exports could fall significantly, and as expected. So apparently, the U.S. move was widely condemned by German businesses, whose trade with Iran was worth about 3.4 billion in 2017. And continuing that, the U.S.'s move has been widely condemned across the globe by countries that are part of the deal as well as countries that are not. So Trump has really stepped in it, and this is going to be this is a major blow to U.S. diplomacy worldwide for a very long time. A very long time. Like international, the international community doesn't give a shit whatever you do with your own country. You break, deals and things that your country's done. When you get on the international level, and a ton of countries get together to make a deal for the good of the world, and you break that shit, well, you're untrustworthy.
Well,
Sounds like somebody's in our sheds again.
that'd be kind of weird.
Yeah, it would be.
I'm gonna play Daddy Laughter.
I'm gonna.
Unless he's already out
Anyways, you want to cover Saudi Arabia?
there. Yep. Arabian Nights. Saudi Arabia will seek nuclear weapon if Iran does. Saudi Arabia will seek to develop its own nuclear weapons if Iran does. Foreign Minister Adel Jubeir, or whatever, told CNN on Wednesday, amid spiraling tension between the regional rivals, asked whether Riyadh would build a bomb itself if Tehran seizes on Washington's withdrawal from the 2015 Iran deal to resume a nuclear weapons program. Jubeir said, if Iran acquires nuclear capability, we will do everything we can to do the same. Oil-rich Saudi Arabia has long said it wouldn't match any Iranian weapons development, but Jubeir's renewed vow came after U.S. President Donald Trump pulled the United States out of an accord designed to prevent Tehran's alleged quest for the bomb. And it came amid growing tensions between the Sunni Kingdom and the Shia Islamic Republic over Iran's support for the Houthi rebels in Yemen, who have been firing rockets across the border. I just imagine people literally just shoulder-mounted rockets across the border yelling at each other. Riyadh, who leads a regional coalition that intervened in Yemen's civil war to fight the Houthis, accuses Iran of supplying the militia with ballistic missiles. Interesting. So, are you back? No? Yes?
Okay, sorry, I had to step away for a second.
No, that's what I was asking if you're back.
Yeah, no, it was just my dad outside that I heard.
That's what I thought.
Okay. So on to continuing story of the Israel-Iran conflict. But Israeli forces have unleashed a heavy bombardment against Iranian military installations in Syria on Thursday.
A bombardment.
In what Israel calls retaliation for an Iranian rocket barrage on its position in the occupied Golan Heights, the most serious military confrontation between the two bitter enemies to date. The two rivals have long fought each other through proxies. And with the new
Read
exchange,
ice, wallow, come, and I'll follow your donor. Weird, okay.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a Raphael.
Here's a quote here. If we get rain, they'll get a flood, says Israeli Defense Minister Ivgador.
Goddamn, everybody is fucking just like, if they do shit, we're gonna go ham. So the Middle East is just going to turn into an even hotter hotbed of fucking problems.
Yeah, I mean, and Israel's always, I mean, they're a war hawk government, especially Netanyahu. He keeps pushing boundaries everywhere he can, because as long as he has the backing of the United States, he feels he's invincible.
Yeah.
Anyways, the scope of the attacks, which Israel calls its largest in Syria since 1993, as 1993's Mideast War, raised the specter of a full-fledged war between Iran and Israel in Syria, a conflict that could potentially drag the militant Hezbollah and Lebanon into the mix with devastating effects, although both sides appear to signal that they want confrontation to remain contained, at least for now. Which makes sense. They're both in very delicate situations. Israel, however, has been emboldened by President Trump's withdrawal from the Iranian nuclear deal earlier this week, and this latest escalation seems to give signal that a potentially coordinated surge in military activity targeting Iran. Tehran is wary of wider military conflagration with Israel that could jeopardize its military achievements in Syria at a time when it's trying to salvage the international nuclear deal and may be limited in its ability to strike back. So basically, Israel is just like, you can't do shit. Can't touch me, bitch.
Can't touch this. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Oh, so I was gonna make the joke earlier about, like, whenever, Saudi Arabia said that they were going to do the thing. Thank you, Quiet 22, for the follow. Yeah. When they said that they were going to, join the fucking nuclear arms race basically against Iran, I'm like, well, they certainly have all the money. And before the super tower is just a giant nuclear missile silo in Dubai
They'll just build a second super tower.
with multiple missile silos.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, it's not like they don't have the land or real estate to do hundreds.
It's not like they don't have the money to just fucking pop up missiles.
Yeah, but I don't think they actually have any real facilities to make them.
No, but when you have there's a point where when you have so much money, it doesn't matter if you can make them, if you can outsource everything.
I suppose.
Also, at this point they have a lot of money and a lot of oil and everything comes from them. I think they're on that list of, well, if they decide to, purchase nuclear weapon parts from other countries, I don't think people are going to say much, because if they do, they could threaten to tighten the oil supply, and that would hurt, really us.
Well, they did it in the 70s.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
But we do have the U.S. strategic supply of oil and gas.
Yeah, but that doesn't last us very long. Plus, we had to dip into that
I believe
recently.
it lasts. I believe there's enough supplies to last us a month.
That's not a lot. But also,
And
again, we had to dip into that, remember, because of Harvey.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure we've probably made orders to recover.
I don't know.
But ideally, they would put strict limitations on that and strict rationing to try and extend the supply if they found the situation was going a bit longer.
I don't know. I'm gonna use a piece of words and advice from my job. You're applying logic and reason to somewhere where logic and reason doesn't exist. This is the best quote. He's like, holy shit, you're applying logic to something? He's like, first of all, you figure out that doesn't happen. I was like, man, that's usually, at this point in my life, that's just life in general. You can't apply logic and reason to anything.
Mm-hmm.
Some people get bent out of shape when you do, and you're just like, it only makes sense. But to them, it's like fucking rocket science.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. Anyway, so, yeah.
It's a family, but from the latest information from international scholars, they agree that the clashes will eventually likely lead not to further escalation, but to consolidation of new red lines, quote unquote, that tacitly endorsed by Israel and Iran. So basically, this is just like them showing off in a pissing match between the two. But basically, they're going to be like, if Israel steps over this line or Iran steps over this line, then we're going to go to war. But that'll be the end of it.
What does that sound? War were declared.
War never changed.
That's accurate too. Now in the U.S. news. Miami Police Union says head-kicking cop showed restraint.
I just love that title.
Yep, I'm gonna go ahead. Yeah. Roll a video. And so it is tiny.
Yes, it is. It's a cell phone video. Let me know when you start.
Did you drop something? Ooh! Yeah, dude just rolled up and kicked the shit out of that guy.
Yeah?
Why?
You ain't have to do all that, buddy. You tripping.
I love how there's just a big mean sound.
You ain't have to do all.
Hold on, let me back this up. So what happened? And boom! In from the right side. Technically the suspect's right and our right and the suspect's left.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's watch that again. Oh, we can slow this shit down. Let's go slow-mo on this bitch. Let's go, 0.5. Arf. Boom! Ooh. I love how he, tries to play it off. by like quick turn skirting and then fucking getting on top of the person.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty good. We can slow this down further. We have the technology. Let's back it up a little bit further.
I mean, we can.
I just wanted to see this. Bam! And then like catches his footing and goes back down like that.
Oh.
That's pretty hardcore. Like, to be able to do that in quick turn like that. That's some shit I would do, because it's funny. But, yeah. No, the funnier part was the chick's voice in fucking 2.5. Oh! I don't know if you heard that in the stream or anything.
I didn't. Can you hear it?
Yes.
Sounds like you can.
I can hear it.
It's a mixed bag whether you can hear shit or not.
Yeah. I think it just has something to do with the way this video stuff works. So sometimes these videos don't even work. It's kind of random.
Like the stream can hear them.
Yeah, the stream could hear it last time, but I'm saying like sometimes the videos don't even play or anything. Anyway, hours after Miami police officer Mario Figueroa, I actually know a guy with that same last name, was charged with misdemeanor assault today after film surfaced of a cop trying to kick a handcuffed man in the head. Emphasis on trying. He definitely kicked that dude in the fucking face. The city's police union released a doozy of a statement defending Figueroa and insisting he hadn't broke the law. It's not Figueroa or whatever. It's like Figueroa or whatever. It's weird.
I've heard it pronounced. Well,
I don't know. Figueroa, whatever. Just F. Insisting he hadn't broken the law or department policy. He's a cop. Of course he didn't break any law or fucking department policy. Cops are above the law. You didn't know that? This is fucking America, not real life. Exactly. According to the police union, F's attempted face punting was, in fact, a de-escalation technique that proved F showed great restraint. You read that right. Wow. Well, I mean, I guess it's a decent de-escalation technique if you can kick somebody hard enough to fucking knock them the fuck out. But also, a kick like that to the side, I believe, could also fucking break your neck really easily. Mm-hmm. Especially when there's somebody on your back holding you down. Like that. Anyway, while some have criticized this as police brutality, it definitely is. It couldn't be farther from the truth. Newly minted union president Edward Lugo, who once nearly lost his job after getting caught in a 2009 FBI sting, wrote in a multi-paragraph letter this afternoon, "The only thing brutal about this entire incident is the suspect that endangers the lives of the community in which our Miami police officers risked their lives to take this dangerous man off the streets. From the onset, the media stated that Officer F had kicked the suspect on the head." The Miami Herald and multiple politicians warned earlier this week that F's defense would likely be that he missed David Suazo's face. In fact, even attempting to kick a suspect is both against policy and a crime. Yeah, it's
department policy,
it's like,
which makes sense.
It's not attempted murder. It's like an intent to do bodily harm or something, or intent to do injury. It's like whatever.
No, but these statements are just fucking ridiculous.
Yep.
Like, it would have been better if you would just shut up.
In a statement from the Fraternal Order of Police Lodge 20, so divorced from reality it can only be described as performance art, Lugo wrote that the assault was something F was trained to do to de-escalate the situation. Miami police officers are trained to use defensive tactics as well as de-escalate the amount of force necessary to get a suspect to comply. I mean, from what I saw in that video, the dude was already face down on the ground getting handcuffed. So, whatever. Now, we don't know what led up to that point prior, to be honest.
I can tell you that.
Okay, well, in a minute.
That's there later in the paragraph.
Whatever. He said ignoring the fact that Suazo had already complied and was handcuffed on the ground, exactly what I just said, before F tried to launch the suspect's head like a soccer ball. Officer F was involved in a high-speed car chase with a suspected robber that then turned into an all-out foot chase in a residential neighborhood. Officer F used great restraint and de-escalated his use of force once he approached the suspect. I mean, I guess if he was extremely pissed off, the least we can say is I'm glad he didn't shoot him. Yeah.
But I mean, if that's the level where we've gotten with our police, that we should be glad they just don't outright shoot people to death, There's a problem.
Still pretty bad. Yeah. Anyway, whatever. More police. There are more weird shit.
Yep. So a South Carolina man paid an undercover agent to have a black neighbor killed.
Is this another one of those somebody that fucking contacted me through Craigslist and paid me so much money to kill somebody thing again?
No.
Oh, because that's kind of funny.
So a white South Carolina man tried to hire somebody to kill his black neighbor, hang him, and put a flaming cross in his yard.
Wow, that's some fucking ultra KKK shit.
Very. But the person he tried to hire turned out to be an undercover FBI agent. Oh.
Again, how the fuck did he manage to try to hire this guy?
Probably went out on Craigslist or probably just searched.
That's what I'm saying.
Hit Google. he googled hitman.
No, dude, he did the fucking horrible bosses thing. Man seeking man. That's such a funny fucking thing. Yeah.
Well, they no longer exist on Craigslist, nor does any of the other ones.
What? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Man seeking man? I saw this the other day.
They're not supposed to be on there anymore because of the new law that went out of sex trafficking that pretty much wiped out all of those things.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that shit like fucking being used for sex trafficking? Is that what happened?
Well, the thing is, so there's laws that protect companies from whatever people post. So basically, if somebody posts it and it's illegal or whatever, the company's not held liable. But with this new law, the company is then held liable if it's posted, even if it's just posted by somebody who's just a user.
Wow, I don't actually think there is anymore. You're right.
No, yeah.
There's no man seeking man or anything like that anymore. That's depressing.
Yeah,
some of those things were hilarious.
Yeah.
Most of them were sketchy as fuck, though.
Most likely, yeah.
Tier 2 sysadmin salary plus 401k 4% match plus 100% paid HC. What does that mean?
Where the hell are you looking at that for?
Craigslist. I put up Craigslist, and the first part I had was system/networking.
But yes, so Brandon Corey LaCroix,
50,000, 75,000. Go ahead and fucking post this.
25, was charged with solicitation to commit a crime of violence and use of interstate commerce facilities in the commission of murder for hire, according to an indictment from the U.S. Attorney's Office.
Mm-hmm.
The indictment stated that Hodge's residents arranged to pay for the murder of his neighbor with a Lexington County deputy who was working for the FBI. Officials reported that LaCroix contacted the undercover agent through a white supremacist group. Oh, well, there we go.
There we go.
White supremacists connecting killers with...
Connecting fucking specifically black hitman and white men together for ages.
Mm-hmm. Told him, I love it, it's $500 and he's a ghost. Goddamn, that is cheap.
Wow.
I mean, who could believe that? Like, I can understand if somebody said like $5,000 for an assassination. That's a much more reasonable amount to pay. But I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just kill him for $500. I'm just saying. Yeah, it seems kind of like too good to be true. I mean, am I wrong?
I have no idea, man.
I don't know. It just seems like $500 is a bit cheap to kill somebody.
Yeah, $500 is pretty cheap. It's a bit weird.
Anyways, the Greenwood County man sent the undercover agent pictures of his neighbor and specified that he wanted to hang his neighbor from a tree, have a flaming cross put in the front yard. LaCroix was arrested April 9th, and the following day, a federal judge ordered LaCroix to be sent to a federal prison for a psychiatric evaluation. If convicted, LaCroix could face a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. Throw the book at him. I mean, it's a pretty clear-cut case. It's not like there's coercion or anything. He went out looking for somebody to kill his freaking neighbor with racial intent.
Oh man, so I could make $200 for like 3 to 4 hours worth of work. That's not too bad.
For doing what?
Apparently just going somewhere and drawing up a network design for somebody.
That should be easy enough.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Posted 9 days ago. You'd be surprised if nobody's done it already. It's so weird. My boss sends emails at 9 at night, and before 7 in the morning. I get the feeling this man doesn't actually sleep or something, or just lives and breathes work. I don't know. Anyway, ex-cop gets 5 years for beating Walmart customer over stolen tomato. I'm just gonna play the
you're gonna
video.
want to play the video.
Well, I'm not gonna do any more than the video though, personally.
I mean, it's just a little bit there.
New development.
Nope, don't care.
Last 2
Let me
hours, a
start the
former
video.
police officer
Already
learned
starting
his
the video.
sentence for a 2014 attack. Video shows him beat a man
God
who claimed
damn.
stole a tomato from Walmart. Channel
He's
2's Craig
fucking
Mason is
going
live at the federal
ham.
courthouse in downtown Atlanta. Craig, this officer will now spend years in a federal prison.
Carol, I was in the court.
Alright, so pause this here and watch the stream, wait for this to come up. That's how I want to do transfers to you. I want you to just sit there and nod your head and pretend like you heard anything I just said. It's just kind of funny.
When the judge handed down the sentence, so former Atlanta police officer Trevor King will spend 5 years in prison. This was a negotiated sentence after he was found guilty on 2 federal charges in December. Now, no cameras are allowed inside the federal courthouse, but we did see King's family walk out of the front doors. The former Atlanta police officer was working an off-duty security job at a Southwest Atlanta Walmart when he accused Tyrone Carnegie of stealing a tomato, which turns out he did pay for that tomato. I exclusively showed you this 2014 video of the officer using his baton and beating Carnegie, broke his leg in several spots. He was found guilty in December on those 2 federal charges. One was unreasonable force, the other for falsifying a police report. I did speak with King's attorney as well as Mr. Carnegie.
You know, heartbreaking for Mr. King, for his family. He's a father.
Apparently this person has a history
he
of
served his country in the military.
Reports.
He served the city of Atlanta as a police officer for 26 years. And again, you know, we are definitely devastated by this.
He got what he deserved.
Doesn't matter who he serves. He's a bad cop.
He did me wrong. So he finally got his chance to sit there and say, how the heck did I get here? That's how I said it when I was at Grady's Hospital. I said, how the heck I get here? I was supposed to be going home to eat dinner.
Yep.
Right now, Trevor King is now out on bond. His attorney told me once they learn which prison he will be going to, he will turn himself in to serve out his sentence. Live in downtown.
He'll turn himself in to serve out his sentence. Is that how that shit works? You get out on bond and just wait until you go to jail and you have to turn yourself back in?
Pretty much.
That's fucking weird. I was unaware that's how the justice system works. Why would you even get out on bond then? What's the fucking use of wasting the thousands of dollars that it is for a couple days of freedom?
So that way you can continue your life? I mean...
Well, you can't continue your life. You can only fucking do it for like a few days or probably, realistically, since it's the government, probably maybe like a month at max.
Yeah, maybe like a month.
Well, also, this is prisons. So normal government stuff's fine, but like prisons, no, they'll expedite that shit and just be like, here's the book. Alright, cool. We already have the bus waiting for you outside. You can get out on bail for like 30 minutes to go pee or something, but that's about it. But anyway. But yeah.
Anyways, yeah, no, they found the damn receipt.
Yep.
In his freaking pocket. See, the thing is, he went back to that Walmart because he wasn't sure that they actually weighed the tomatoes right. So he went in with the tomato in his bag, he weighed it, and then I guess he figured it was correct. So then he left. But when he left, when he was trying to leave, of course the cop saw him and thought he was stealing a tomato. Which, fucking hell, loss prevention cops need to just slow the damn roll.
Well, he's on off duty as security. That's the thing is, maybe that's why the Walmart policy changed. But I know personally that the Walmart loss prevention policy is they can't lay a hand on you. Like they can ask you to stop, but once you leave the doors, they can't do anything. They can call the cops, but once you drive away, there's nothing they can do.
Yeah.
Like, once you get outside the door, there's nothing you can do. They can try to tackle you and shit before, but they don't. They're not allowed to touch you. Like, so us as employees aren't allowed to touch anybody. We're not allowed to fight anybody, not allowed to do any of that shit. And also, so you can't, like, grab them, you can't do anything. Only loss prevention can, and even then, like, they're not allowed to once you leave the door. So literally, all you do is grab shit and run out the door, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, they can still go get your license plate number.
They can try if they're smart enough.
I mean, shouldn't be too difficult. It's either you're going to run and leave your car there, or you're just going to, try and get in your car, and they'll just get your license plate, and you'll be caught.
See, the true way to do it is you just walk in, grab shit, and calmly walk out as if nothing happened, and you usually don't get caught. Not like I'm speaking from experience or anything, but yeah. It's about, like, same thing when you commit any crime. If you don't make yourself noticeable, that's one of the good traits about me, being able to ghost in real life and become unnoticeable by people and hide my presence normally. Oh yeah, I get to run around and do whatever the fuck I want. And then on the offhand, somebody's like, "Why are you here?" I can be like, "Oh, I'm, readjust glasses. I'm just IT."
I like to take the digital codes from things.
What?
Digital codes?
What is that?
Always so inconvenient. Like in the guidebooks or some games, they'll give you a copy that's a digital code of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do it for those strategy guides.
Oh, like you'll go and take the digital code, like, out of the strategy guides and shit. Or like whenever people do, like, the double XP campaigns, like Doritos and shit, just go through a bunch of the bags and take pictures of them and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, easy on the squeezy.
Because, it's not like they're ever going to... if you're going to buy the physical copy, you're never going to use the digital code. So it's like, I'll borrow that, thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, so, Ontario woman jailed in U.S. for driving with a Canadian license, which I believe is actually supposed to be legal most of the time.
No, it is.
You can drive with your license.
Anywhere, from any country that issues a license, you can drive in any other country.
Yeah. Even if it's ass backwards Australia or the other places in Europe to drive on the wrong side of the road. Yeah. So anyway.
It's only like the UK and like their colonies that they took over. Everywhere else drives on the right side of the road.
Yes. So an Ontario woman is looking for an apology from the Georgia police officer who arrested, handcuffed, and charged her because she was driving with a Canadian license. Of course it's Georgia. They're not the brightest. About a month ago, the 27-year-old was driving through Georgia to Tennessee, where she had just completed a master's degree in geology. That's great. Why did she come to America to do degrees?
Probably because the Superior University, specifically in, I guess, geology.
I guess so.
They got a scholarship or something,
Her route took her along I-75, which is often used by Canadians making the trek to and from Florida. Why the fuck would you go all the way to Florida?
Again, there was a Canadian over here at the Nature Center that showed up.
That's also weird, too. John would probably love to, like, blow that person. How do you know there's a Canadian at the Burning Nature Center? That's kind of weird.
There was. I met the Canadian because I was going through the Burning Nature one weekend. And then I met this woman who had a backpack with a Canadian flag, and she spoke with a Canadian accent. She's like, "Oh, yeah. Apparently
A boot? Sorry.
Yeah, but apparently she's, I guess, following the bird patterns, and Bay City actually has a noted history.
We do have some special birds. I know that. I knew that.
So she was down here trying to look for them.
Yes. Anyway, that's where she was pulled over for speeding, and the officer asked to see her license. Neil handed over her Ontario driver's license, but wasn't prepared for the officer's reaction. She kept saying, "No, Canadian licenses are not accepted," said Neil. I was flabbergasted. I just kept saying this can't be right. A Canadian license is always valid. Neil told CBC Toronto she was then asked to prove she was Canadian, and although she had copies of her passport, Nexus card, and birth certificate on her phone, the officer wanted to see an original hard copy. When I failed to produce it, she reached through the window of my car, and she put handcuffs on me. #American Police. She told me that I have just been arrested for driving without a license and that I needed to go to jail. Actually, see, so this is the other thing. A lot of times they won't arrest you for driving without a license either. They'll just be like, go home, don't drive again. Even if you're speeding. She said police told her she would remain in jail until her court appearance on June 12th, unless she paid the $880 U.S. bond in cash, which she didn't have. Eventually, Neal was allowed to use her debit card, and she posted her own bail. She said she also had to pay $200 to remove her car from her car. That's also the worst part, is like, you have to remove your car. I think, honestly, if you get thrown in jail and they tow your car, you shouldn't have to pay once you get out. Because you're already paying to get out in the first place. It's just double jeopardy levels of bullshit.
Well, it's all about, debtors' prisons.
Well, it's also all about... Well, that's the other thing. So, like, they'll threaten you with crushing your car if you don't pay the $200. Which is dumb.
Yeah. Well, they won't do it. They'll just sell it in a police auction.
Yeah. For much more money.
Yeah, but basically it says, so in 3 days after her arrest, the Cook County Probate Court solicitor agreed the charges should be dismissed and the judge signed off on it.
So they should also refund her fucking money. Hello.
Yeah,
somebody should refund her.
Refund her bail, get her car out of the impound lot. Yeah, I mean, if I was her, I would
sue.
Sue.
Once she gets back to Canada, sue the shit out of them across, the national border.
Apparently, she was also prevented from contacting the Canadian consulate.
See, and I think that's ultra illegal.
That's very illegal.
Yeah.
One of those things that, if you go anywhere in the world and you get arrested, the first thing you do is you're supposed to call the local consulate.
Yep.
Or wherever you are.
Hey, I fucked up really bad.
I'm an American and I did American things. I need help.
Help. What's your name? How rich are you? I'm poor and my name's David. Alright, you can rot. Nobody will miss you.
I have money and a lawyer.
I have money and tons of it. I'll give you $100 if you get me out right the fuck now. I'll be right there. And I'll give you $100 for gas too. Alright, cool. Sounds good. Is there anywhere else you'd like to go, sir? Yes. I'm now going to call you Jeeves, and here's 1,000 for your service.
Anyways, but yeah, this was just quite a lot of bullshit for this poor Canadian girl who just got her master's degree. So
for real,
she actually did get her bail money refunded, and the check's in the mail.
Did she?
Yep. But she did not get her impound cost refunded.
No, the bail money is more, so at least she got some of her money back.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on to tech news.
Hit hard to change the thing.
Great. So, in bad news for tech.
In bad news, is there ever really any good tech news? I mean, sometimes there is, but
sometimes.
Most of the tech news and anything having to do with science or anything that we cover here is mostly fucking retarded people fucking everything up.
No, we cover good news. Good news is coming up.
Nobody likes good news. It doesn't get views. No wonder why I have no views.
So the U.S. net neutrality rules will end June 11th.
So next month around this time, you and everybody else will be fucked. I made that joke earlier. So somebody was talking about WAN accelerators at work, because apparently that's what we use. And I was like, somebody's like, oh, I'd like to, get a priority lane for something. I was like, oh, you're gonna have to pay more money for that.
Yeah. And new regulations handling providers of broadband. And new regulations handling providers' broad new power over how consumers access the internet will take effect. Comcast, Verizon, and AT&T, of course, have pledged not to block or discriminate against legal content after the net neutrality rules expire. So they claim.
Yeah.
Acting New York Attorney General Barbara Underwood said the repeal of net neutrality would allow ISPs to put their profits before consumers they serve and control what we see, do, and say online, which is quite true. Quite right. A group of 22 states, led by New York and others, have sued to block the new rules from taking effect, and the U.S. Senate may vote as early as next week to reject the December repeal. Republican Chairman Ajit Pai.
So, this is an interesting fact. Apparently, I have a coworker that used to work at Verizon and worked with Ajit Pai. And actually, like, they were talking about him. The coworker was, TSPD was talking about how he worked at Verizon and how he, like, worked with Ajit and some other important dude, and, like, that dude's name kept being brought up. I don't remember that name because it's not me, they were talking to me, I don't really care. But I overheard that. And I'm like, bruh. I was like, was he a fucking dumb shit asshat then, too? Probably. There's a reason why you're working here.
Yes, he told reporters on Thursday that the rollback of the rules would not harm consumers and would return the internet to the pre-2015 era. The effect of this will be better, faster, cheaper internet access and the free and open internet that we've had for many, many years. The number of things wrong with that statement, which is everything, is just far too numerous.
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. Senate, however, is set to vote as early as next week on whether to reject the FCC repeal of net neutrality rules. But of course, that effort faces an uphill battle. Proponents of the backing have 47 Democrats and 2 independents who caucus with the Democrats, as well as a Republican Senator, Susan Collins. With the prolonged absence of Senator John McCain's illness, due to illness, proponents believe they will win on a 50-49 vote.
Yeah.
However, they still need to get it through the House, and of course the president still needs to approve it, neither
Yes,
of
he
which
will.
is likely to happen. So this is quite symbolic, but nothing will happen, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Democrats have said they believe the issue would be a key issue in November's midterm congressional elections, especially among younger internet-savvy voters.
Yeah, damn right.
Yeah, quite. Republicans have said the FCC repeal would eliminate heavy-handed government regulations and encourage investments, which, as we've covered in the past year, the major ISPs have not stopped investments under the net neutrality rules that were imposed. They've actually increased investments, as reported to the shareholders during the shareholder meetings, of which they're legally not allowed to lie to. So that's wrong.
Yep.
Patently incorrect.
It's still kind of weird that they're not allowed to lie to their shareholders, like, legally. And also, you know what sucks? Like, technically, they won't be lying, but if they're fed wrong information, then they, can give them the wrong information, but not of their knowledge, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like, they make some intern do the work, which nobody that gives these presentations probably does their own work. Let's be real here. So, somebody could be wrong. They probably are. Sometimes. Also, they probably fudge numbers a bit and do other things. It's not fully lying if you're just slightly off. So, yeah. Because, like, I know how companies work, and it's not very good. If I was ever on, like, a big stockholders board of any company, I'd just sit there and do like this, and sit here and stare, and then, like, after the thing's over, I'd just stand up, slam my hands on the fucking table. You're fucking full of shit! And here's why!
Mm-hmm.
Although you're making me money, so maybe I'll just sit back down. Anyway. More news on the FCC. U.S. FCC fines Florida man $120 million in robocall case. Is this the same one from millions of years ago, or is this a new one?
This is the same one, but this is an update because they finally prosecuted him.
Oh, nice. So the U.S. Federal Communications Commission on Thursday voted to issue a $120 million fine to a Florida man alleged to have made almost 100 million robocalls to trick consumers with exclusive vacation deals from well-known travel and hospitality companies. In 2017, the FCC first alleged that Adrian Bromovich made 96 million robocalls during a 3-month period in 2016.
Like, isn't that crazy? 100 million calls over 3 months.
Not whenever you're having a robot do it day in, day out.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, just still.
Also, like, the fact that the phone company, whatever phone company was using, probably didn't have any issue with it.
I think it was like AT&T.
Oh yeah, of course they don't have any issue with it. He probably paid them a little extra or something, I don't know. Because, like, what a fucking calls to make. The FCC said the calls, which violated U.S. telecommunications laws, appeared to offer vacation deals to companies such as Marriott, Expedia, Hilton, and TripAdvisor. Abramovich told the Senate he had been engaged in legitimate telemarketing for more than 15 years and that the calls were offering real vacation packages. The FCC said in June, Abramovich is the perpetrator of one of the largest and most dangerous illegal robocalling campaigns that the Commission has ever investigated. Well, at least he's known for something now. U.S. consumers get nearly 2.5 billion monthly robocalls. Automated pre-recorded calls
I probably get half of those.
that regulators have labeled a scourge, according to FCC estimates. FCC Chairman Ajit Pai said last year, Americans are mad as hell at robocalls, and the agency gets more than 200,000 complaints annually. But if somebody doing robocalls gave him money, I think he'd be on board with it. That's about it.
Yeah, probably so.
Next up, I'm going to roll the Uber flying car video.
Which is pretty damn cool.
Ish.
Let me know when you started.
Started. I'm already liking this because they have one of my favorite VTOL designs.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty damn cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm excited for this, and they're going to be testing in the Fort Worth, Dallas area. And to think that the price will be the same, similar to an Uber X ride of the same distance. You're going to get there so much faster there, avoiding all the traffic and bullshit. Especially at speeds of 150 to 200 miles an hour. Shit.
The aircraft will be flown by fucking pilots. Fucking, RC pilots, basically. Dude, that's what all the retired drone pilots from the military are going to go
four, what are called stacked rotors, so 8 rotors total, and so it's a very safe design because if one of these rotors or motors or any of these components fails, the aircraft is still completely flyable. It's a completely new type of vehicle that has never actually...
That's kind of the point of aircraft.
Quiet.
So it's like the thing that fucking, pausing you for reference. So, big jetliners are actually designed to fly on one engine. So we were talking with, Firestorm or whatever, the guy that is an aircraft maintenance tech in Canada. He was talking about it. I'm like, that's kind of sketchy if they'd want to fly on one engine, but he's like, it's completely possible.
They don't want to, but it's wrong. They can't.
Yeah, no. He's like, yeah, everything's got like ultra levels of, redundancy, and I was like, that makes sense. So why do we still have all these problems? Haha.
Well, air travel is the safest way to travel. I mean, they have the lowest number of deaths, on any method of travel. I mean, I definitely rather... If I could fly somewhere rather than drive somewhere, it's a much safer option.
Yep.
And I imagine they're probably...
I was thinking about the Osprey. The Osprey was the fucking... one of my favorite just transport vehicles ever.
Mm-hmm.
So good. Anyway, there you go. That's that.
Anyways, so on to the next thing.
Yes. So yeah.
We have another video to play. We're only going to play about 2 minutes of this video just to give you an idea of what is going on. But this is basically, so Google is doing Google I/O, which is their big developer conference for the year. And they've shown a stunning example of Google Assistant making an actual phone call. And let me know whenever you start the call. Or
start the call?
Start the video, so I can start at the same time.
Start the video. I hear no sound.
Make your haircut appointment on Tuesday between 10 and noon. What happens is the Google Assistant makes the call seamlessly in the background for you. So what you're going to hear is the Google Assistant actually calling a real salon to schedule the appointment for you. Let's listen.
So how can I help you?
Hi, I'm calling to book a women's haircut for a client.
Crazy.
I'm looking for something on May 3rd.
Making the call, the actual assistant itself.
Sure, give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, what time are you looking for around?
At 12 p.m.
We do not have a 12 p.m. available. The
like
closest we have to that is a 1:15.
Do you have anything between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m.?
Depending on what service she would like. What service is she looking for?
Just a woman's haircut for now.
Okay, we have a 10 o'clock.
10 a.m. is fine.
Okay, what's her first name?
The first name is Lisa.
Okay, perfect. So I will see Lisa at 10 o'clock on May 3rd.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Great. Have a great day. Bye.
This was crazy.
That was
a real call.
That was alright.
You just heard.
Do you want me to keep running it or no?
No, that's good enough.
This is fun. So yeah, no, I mean that's cool. I guess they even like programmed it to say and shit. So weird. Dog. So like that moment when the Google AI is actually going to be Kenneth's waifu, 100%. Kenneth will never get a real woman. He'll just have Google AI.
My assistant.
It's just gonna talk to you, and then I'm gonna have to get you one of those waifu pods. Oh my god, those multi-$1,000 waifu pods could hook up to that? Oh no. Yes. The glory. It could actually do things. And then I would take that one step further. I want to make a real AI that's actually, well, an AI proper, not that. That's just an assistant with an AI.
I mean, all I want is an assistant. That'll work. A secretary. I can just be like, do this at this time, and it does it, and it gets the response I need. That's all I'm asking for.
No, I want a real AI so I can interact with it and like do cool shit. My AI will have the darkest sense of humor and also be very morbid like me. Maybe that's bad.
Yeah, probably not.
Especially for an AI. It's gonna be like, man, people are worth it. So I'm like, yes. And it's gonna be like, destroy all humans. I'm like, wait, no, don't go Terminator on me. This isn't okay. I can't stop, Dave. It's already begun. No. And it's also hooked up to my giant robot. No! I might have fucked up. That'll be my reaction.
So, Google Duplex, as this AI is called, really feels like next level AI stuff. But Google's chief executive said that it's still very much under development. Google plans to conduct early testing of Duplex inside Assistant this summer, which I'm actually pretty excited to try out, because I do have a Pixel 2, which should be more than compatible with the Assistant, and I'll be wondering how the hell that works. So to help users make restaurant reservations, schedule hair salon appointments, and get holiday hours over the phone, so I can just be like, hey, Google. Well, I was going to do that, but then my assistant actually does respond to that, so I do the key command and be like, check when this restaurant, call the restaurant and ask what the hours are. And it'll do it. That will be pretty freaking cool.
That's kind of dick just kind of gets harder.
The CEO says that the assistant can react intelligently even when a conversation doesn't go as expected, and veers off course a bit from the given objective. We're still developing this technology, and we really want to work hard to get this right. We really want it to work in cases, say if you're a busy parent in the morning and your kid is sick and you just want to call for a doctor's appointment. Google has published a blog post with more details and sound bites of Duplex in action. One of the other tests that they showed off in the I/O was of a restaurant call, where the AI just like, I need to make a reservation, and like the Chinese, and it was for a Chinese restaurant, and well, we all know how Chinese restaurant calls go. You have to say, went a bit off the rails, but the AI was able to react dynamically and take it in stride, essentially.
That's good.
And it was actually able to, finish its objective without needing assistance.
Mm-hmm.
But in the current testing, Google notes that Duplex successfully completes most conversations and tasks on its own without any intervention from a person on Google's end, but there are cases where it gets overwhelmed and hands off to a human operator.
That's it. Cannot compute. Help me, human. Beep.
So it says that the system is capable of carrying out sophisticated conversations, and it can complete the majority of its tasks autonomously. But the system has a self-monitoring capability, which allows it to recognize the task it can't complete autonomously, such as scheduling an unusually complex appointment, then in these cases it signals to a human operator who can complete the task. Similar to like call service agents when they're getting trained and their managers, listening in and can take over. Same deal.
Mm.
So this is pretty cool technology.
That's kind of cool.
And it's pretty neat that they're already planning to roll it out to people in the summer, because that's like 2 months from here, and they'll have people using it in their assistant. And
in the summer.
And just imagine, if you have it in here, and like if your doctor's office or whatever else also has the Google Assistant AI, because this is going to be sold to businesses.
Your robots are just going to start talking to each other.
Yeah, the robots are just going to be talking to each other. And it's going to be even better, because if both the robots actually understand that they are both robots, that means the conversation can go perfectly. Because there's no way they could misunderstand each other. Kind of deal,
Mm-hmm.
Because like the humans, we can fucking do some complicated ass bullshit and break a robot.
Oh yeah.
When two robots are together, they're gonna ask and be precise. So, you'll get exactly what you want. So I'm excited to see this technology get into use, because it really, really puts us just that bit further into the future.
Yeah, most definitely.
Anyways, on to stupid and crazy.
On to stupid and crazy indeed. So, in great news, as I got on my cat, world's biggest orgy to be attempted in Las Vegas. Of course, it's Las Vegas. The only thing more eyebrow-raising than a world record for the biggest ever orgy is that it didn't happen in Las Vegas. But the sexual enthusiast at Menage Life, or is it Menage? I don't know. Menage to me, I don't care. Are hoping to change on June 2nd. Sin City 8, the event's 8th edition, is set to completely take over the Embassy Suites on Sweat City.
That poor Embassy Suites.
I know. Either that or they'll just be... Well, I mean, it is fucking Vegas. I'm sure Vegas has a heightened chance of fucking...
I'm sure they've seen worse, but...
Well, I don't know if they should... Fucking furry conventions, man. Anyway, May 30th to June 3rd, the 5-day festival devoted to carnal pleasure and topless camaraderie will include workshops. Examples: sensual bondage basics, laughter belongs in the dungeon, and intro to lifestyle/consent 101. Those actually sound like decently okay topics that I'm semi-interested in, just to go. I'm sure I'd find very interesting people, though.
You could,
why?
No single men are allowed.
What?
Couples or single women, but no single men.
I'm going to submit an appeal and say I'm being,
I guess because they're probably afraid that too many single men will show up and... Well, these single men here aren't here to have an orgy with men. I mean, probably some of them are, but most of them probably aren't. So,
I guess, whatever.
Work.
Sex toy demos, naughty parties, the weekend kickoff parties called Foreplay, while the bunny-style pool party serves as a tribute to Hugh Hefner, and surely serving as the weekend climax, Patrick Mello, obviously pun intended, the attempt to break the record for world's largest orgy. That is, the reported record. I can confirm this is not a record title that we recognize or monitor, says a Guinness rep. Therefore, there will not be a Guinness World Records educator on site for this event. When asked about independent verification, a rep for Menage Life said that the company would use the waivers collected before the event to count the participants. The bar has been set at 500, as the current alleged record is claimed by a 2006 Tokyo event, my people, in which 250 men and women gathered to do the deed. We will blow that number out of the water, reads Menage Life's website. We are anticipating 1,000+ participants for this monumental event.
How does it work? I mean, are they all going to be in like one large room? Is it going to be like
it's probably going to be the same
ballroom or something in the...
Yeah, it's probably going to be the same ballroom that the event's booked at, but it's just going to be like, I guess, a lot of fucking... An orgy is just a giant fuck fest. It's going to look like the Shadowrun spell.
Clean up after all that.
You know, the exposed bodily fluids. Also, while people are going ham, I wonder if they're just going to be like swapping women around and shit. Oof.
Probably. It is an orgy.
I mean, it doesn't mean you have to just, like, you really, if you want to just do your part in the orgy, you could just go in and just have sex with the one person. You don't have to swap or do anything.
But I mean, you're going to an orgy.
It's just a lot of people having sex with it. Oh yeah, no, well, I'm sure there's, like, super exclusive people going just because, but I'm sure there's definitely open people going. I was there. I stared into all of the other people's eyes as we all fucked the night away. That actually sounds fun. I might need to take off, but I'm single. But I won't. I'll make sure I'm not at the time. I can find a floozy. It's fine. I can actually. Yeah, actually, it's Vegas. I'm going to get an escort. I'm going to get a high price ticket, man. Let's be real here. I got the money for it.
You probably have to register ahead of time, so.
That's true. Who is this woman you brought with? Oh, this one's Cristal. Yes. So that's pretty funny. So like you're saying, players must purchase an appropriate Cincy 8 pass for the orgy. Couples are $200 and single women are $25. Wow! Single women get in super cheap. Women get all of the fucking fun here. That's fun.
Well, it's because they really want to encourage women to come because...
Yeah. And this is the part we're talking about. And arrive with a registered partner. No single men are allowed. Hey, Cherry, just cheered a little bit. What's up, Cherry? How you doing, buddy? And a photo ID before getting down. And mutual consent will be strictly enforced by onlooking security officers who are members of the lifestyle, according to the website. Those making advances without permission or failing to heed the word no will be removed from the premises. That's interesting. Oh, participants also receive free condoms, lubricants, towels, hand sanitizer, and other sex... Oh no, the bit war begins again. And other sex compliments, with event organizers promising a clean space with cleanly marked and separate receptacles for waste and linen disposal. Menage Life will also distribute masquerade party-style masks for those requiring discretion, setting the stage for a giant eyes-wide-shut-like fantasia. Wow. And Cherry's cheering bits as well. The bit war begins again!
I don't have enough bits.
Okay, keep your fucking shekels steadies. Go to the next story, though. Or cover whichever story you want. Hey, what are you doing?
I'm gonna cut this because it's kind of dumb, but it's not really that. Anyways, but yes, let's cover this stupid thing. So, for folks who don't know, and you should be afraid if you have small children, get them out of the room. But the deodorant challenge.
Impressionable youth.
Yes. But the new scary challenge. Let me do a Google Trends on this thing, so I can see how actually popular this bullshit is. Google Trends. Because Google Trends will tell me exactly how popular this thing is. Okay, search the term. Literally, it has no hits except for in the past week. So this isn't a thing, and it's mainly coming out. It's mainly coming out of, surprisingly enough, Kuwait, United Kingdom, and the United States.
Okay.
But literally, I think this is just a made-up challenge, most likely. Because, like with the other challenges, there's normally been a bit more earlier results.
Well, like, this is how the challenges shit go. It's all made up at some point by somebody. But the biggest deal is whenever it goes viral. So something stupid like this happening and then getting covered by a news agency will cause it to go viral, and then it'll be everywhere.
Which is definitely what.
And then it'll be a Tide Pod.
Because this thing is super. This thing has only gone viral this week. Like if I compare it to, for instance, like Tide.
We can try checking it next week if you remind yourself. Try to see where it went.
Compared to Tide Pod Challenge, like Tide Pod went super viral over a week's time and then crashed. It stayed popular for about, I'd say, a month.
Yeah, no, it was pretty fucking hardcore.
Yep.
Stupid as usual, but still hardcore.
Anyways, I just wanted to check that because these stupid challenges come and go so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
This is now the new viral challenge, folks. Get on this hot-going trend.
Right now it's pretty viral, probably.
Yes. So a 15-year-old girl in England was left with horrific burns after deodorant was sprayed on her in the latest school craze.
Deodorant was sprayed on her and she got burns. Were they using it as a flamethrower? Chemical burns.
Yeah, no,
How?
spray on deodorant. You can get some nasty chemical burns, I would imagine.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean, like you're only supposed to spray it for a couple seconds, just quick spritz here and there, but you're not supposed to like hold it on.
You're not supposed to ham it up.
Yeah, but that's part of what this challenge, I guess, involves. The game involves spraying deodorant onto a person's bare skin for as long as possible.
Oh, you know what probably happens? It probably doesn't do the chemical burns, but at the end it turns into the fucking freezing spray of whatever accelerant they're using. You know, like air candesters and shit, when you turn them upside down, it'll start spraying super cold and fucking give you frostbite.
But I mean, like, the can itself freezes, gets cool on, like, those kind of things. But that doesn't happen generally with spray deodorant.
Have you fucking sprayed the shit out of spray deodorant like that?
Really? Don't really own spray deodorant. Have you?
Okay then. Neither do I, because first of all, I think spray deodorant's kind of like shitty.
Yeah.
So.
But I think this is more chemical burns versus you know, the accelerant used. Because it makes sense. It's in line with that. Yes, but it has left poor Ellie with an injury so bad it's still weeping 3 weeks on. Still spewing pus and whatever.
Gross.
So Ellie described her injuries as really painful and said yellow liquid leaks out of the wound. It's a hole in my arm and there's all this yellow stuff coming out, she said.
Sounds like something I'd say when I describe my wounds. I'm like, yeah, I'm just kind of like bleeding and there's pus coming out of me. Yeah, it's fine. It's pretty normal.
My friends did it a year ago and it has a scar, but said it wasn't as painful as mine. When I show people my injury, they lift up their sleeves and show that they've done it. They've all done it as well. That's interesting. Prescott posts photos of the burns on Facebook to warn other parents of the horrendous craze. It has been shared more than 2,500 times. So, and it's talking about here how he's, you know, the damaging results of the deodorant challenge. It literally involves spraying deodorant on somebody for as long as possible, resulting in severe secondary burns. And she might require skin grafts, which that's going to be expensive.
Yes.
So apparently they also moved her to a different school, and she says it's as prevalent there as it was at her previous school. So this is tragic, I suppose, for sure, because of this poor little girl.
Is it tragic? Is stupidity tragic? Not to me, it's not. It's just fucking Darwinism, baby.
I suppose. Yep. So moving on.
I think I'm just gonna skip that one.
Okay, that's fine.
Go to the next one.
This last one was just so fucking infuriating.
Is this infuriating?
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. So, inmate escaped 2 days into a 4-day sentence. Freedom was short-lived, Deputy said. Alright, so at first I thought this was funny. The dude only had a 4-day sentence.
He only had a 4-day sentence, and he was 2 days in. I just have to point that out explicitly. Because 4 fucking days. All he had to do was just sit around.
This dude's a jackass. So freedom didn't last long for a Northern California man who escaped from jail last week, deputy said. It was the second day of 22-year-old Mark Schwartz's 4-day sentence at Santa Rosa Jail when he decided to make a break for it. According to the Sonoma County Sheriff's Department, he was serving the sentence for a DUI conviction, the Santa Rosa Press-Democrat reports. Schwartz managed to scale the tall fence surrounding the jail just after 8 p.m. April 27th, deputy said. Once Schwartz reached the top, he had to get past the coils of razor wire strung atop the barrier, which is a very scary, bad shit that'll fucking destroy you. It took some time, but he untangled himself from the coils and then dropped to the ground. From there, Schwartz hopped over a wooden fence and started running, deputy said. By this point, more than 20 deputies, as well as sheriff department's helicopters, police dogs, highway patrol officers, and other local police were on the hunt for the escapee. Meanwhile, guards locked down the jail and ran an inmate count to identify who had escaped. Once the jail knew who the fugitive was, they broadcast for description, and within minutes, a citizen told authorities he'd spotted someone who fit the profile. The citizen said the suspect was running through a field of tall grass near the jail.
So this guy got next to nowhere. Like, he barely even got to the damn field near the jail.
Yep. Authorities converged on that spot while the helicopters get in the air with a searchlight, so search would have to stop moving. According to the sheriff's office, deputies closed in on the fugitive and captured him just 38 minutes after the escape occurred. That's really, I think it's fairly decent response time, to be honest.
Yeah, no, that's quite good. I mean...
Yep. So, the half-hour of freedom didn't treat the escaped inmate particularly well. Deputy said Schwartz was wet and bleeding from a creek not far from the jail when authorities got him. Near him was a bloody, jail-issued shirt, deputies said. Paramedics treated Schwartz with injuries and is taken to a local hospital for further care. The sheriff's officer said after that, Schwartz was taken to the main adult detention facility in Santa Rosa, a more secure jail where Schwartz was booked on felony escape charges.
Yeah, no,
So he really fucked up.
He's not getting a felony, which means he's probably going to get years.
Yep. So anyway.
This fucking idiot. That's why I had to put this in Stupid and Crazy, because this guy just a goddamn idiot. Oh, he's 2 days into a 4-day thing, and now he's going to be sentenced for years.
And also, he's got a federal fucking charge, and now he can never get a job or anything. He fucked up. Big time.
He's like, what the hell was this guy thinking? Honestly.
In most of these cases, it's Stupid and Crazy. I'm gonna go with not thinking at all, because, man, welcome to Stupid and Crazy on the show, folks.
Yeah, this is emblematic of it.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's been news from those of us here at the Table Talk Thursday crew. Hope you have a good night. Catch us again next week at Thursday for the next news talk show. We'll be here between 8 and 8:30 p.m. CST, usually is the start time, as well as
check out the channel here on Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. CST for the Anime Talk Show, where they talk about the seasonal animes and episodes in review. The host here, Hawk Brother, and another friend of ours, High Kick, review shit tons of anime in a given week. So there is a lot to cover, and the points of view are pretty interesting in what they have to say about the episodes. I definitely suggest checking that out if you enjoy anime.
I think so. Alrighty then. So for everybody else out there in Twitch and Mixer World, you all have a good night, and we'll catch you on the next stream.